Hello everyone and welcome to a lovely game of Steel Division. And this game is nothing else but the third place game of League Season 8 between two really strong opponents, Inshaa and Khers, only being bested by the finalists of last seasons, who now also are the finalists of this season, and who will most likely meet each other again on Monday. Onord and Gonzo are the one in the finals, but these two here still play for quite a bit. First of all, Honor, obviously, and second of all, it's a rematch of a matchup that we had last season already. But last season, they didn't meet in Division 1, but they did meet in Division 2 instead. And back then, Inshaa got the best of Khers, taking the victory 3-1, but both still moved on to Division 1 in the subsequent season, obviously, with the system that we have in place. So yeah, this time they still made it through the group stage in their first season in Division 1, and now they meet again. Not quite in the finals, but still pretty close. And if you want to support them, you can do so via Matcherino. Link in the chat on Twitch right now, or down in the description below on YouTube. And you can use these codes here on the side to add a couple of cents for free, for example, up to $1 easily by just visiting some websites. Nothing you have got to do there. And boost their prize pool a bit. So their prize pool is already somewhat significant. Like the third place takes $52, fourth place only $34. So there is a difference there. And obviously this difference gets bigger the more of you use these codes or add some money directly. That's all up to you. So yep, just add a couple of $3 for free with those links. Takes a couple of seconds and doesn't cost you anything, doesn't cost me anything, but gives money to players in the community and makes us getting those couple steps closer to esports. So let's go into the action and talk about an insane matchup here. Third place game, Kostritsa is the map. Kostritsa always brings out the weird. And so it does this time again. As on the left side, we got Inshaa bringing out MGB with Maverick. Whilst on the right side, Khers brings out around no other division than Operation Rösselsprung in Vanguard. And obviously, if there's a Vanguard division, it's Operation Rösselsprung. But seeing this division in the first place is a really interesting pick. We got Brandenburgers, we got Dom Brownies. But this division has a lot of slow transports, not that many fast ones. And over here, you also got AB41s. That's your fastest vehicle, so you need to rush forward with that. But on the other side, we see a lot of fast transports. We see a lot of Ford GPAs. And we see the WLAs with PTRS inside. And Ognats. So that's kind of scary. Obviously also off-map on the side of MGB as well. But the light armor of Khers division might be annoying. The light armor is something that you kind of hate to see. And if there's something that Rösselsprung has, then it's 20mm autocannons. You get a lot of AB41s and AB43s. You get the Aufklärungspanzer 2F with another 20mm. And then you get quite a couple of light tanks as well. AB with a 47mm and so on. And then you also get some good CQC infantry. From the SS Fallschirmstoßjägers with TNT, to the Brandenburger Pioneers with flamethrowers, to the normal Brandenburgers with TNT and SDGs, and so on. So a lot of strong infantry here for sure, but obviously the infantry on the other side, not that bad either. From Moskaya Combat as leaders to the Moskaya Sturm with double flamethrowers, then Ognats Saperi for hitting some stuff, Moskaya Storm with the double flamethrower, Moskaya Saperi with the TNT. A lot of great infantry on both sides, but the light armor might be the one thing that Khers can get the W with. Once more with Vanguard on this map. This seems to be one of his Vanguard go-to maps. And let's see how it goes. Nobody else but Khers did play Vanguard this season in Division 1. And so far, he is on a pretty good record with it. Not fully flawless, but quite a good success rate in general. 2 wins against Skotter, 1 win against, in the semifinal, against Onord with it, and so on. So, got for sure the results that he wanted out of it. Let's see if he can do it here once more. Not an easy matchup at all, but if there would be a matchup for Rössersprung to come in, maybe this would be kinda it. Like, a division that can't deal with light armor is for sure the perfect opponent for you with this unit. SS Gebirgs Pioneers will run into a lot of opposition here. Oschnatz Saperi and Oschnatz coming in a number. Another SS Stoßjäger being called in as well. MG34 and a single Panzer II holding the north, giving up the forest there. SS Gebirgs Pioneers have the jerry can bomb. Not much else, but that thing alone is already pretty strong. And here we have Stoßjägers with the TNT, 20-point TNT unit, relatively cheap. Smoke on top as well. Brandenburger Pioneers with the double flamer versus the Moskaya Sturm on the other side with the double flamer. And then the normal Brandenburger with the double MG42 and the G43. Decent firepower plus TNT, so good in CQC as well, but obviously a bit more expensive with 30 points. On the other side, 12-man TNT squadrons with the Moskaya Saperi and the double flamers down here. Oschnatz VMF, really strong long-range recon with sniper and MG42. A lot of good infantry will meet here. But the amount of mid-range anti-tank is rather limited on Inshaa's side. No mid-sized tanks in A phase, only one cut of T-34s in B phase to deal with stuff like the AB-42. And if Khers can stay away out of the bazooka range of the Oschnatz, maybe only take a couple of shots out of the PTRS, then these AB-42-1s or AB-43s can deal a lot of damage. Modern Brani as cannon fodder coming in. Those are your cheap infantry in this deck. They are just there to die. Whilst the AB-41s find the first Oschnatz VMF. And even if they die here, they're still trading somewhat well. Though running into Oschnatz, not the right idea. But can they maybe pin down the Oschnatz before they reload? Yes, they can. So one Oschnatz down. And the AB-41 still around. Brandenburger also pushing. Moskaya Sturm over here get heavily overrun. And Khers is pushing through the forest. Can the pressure be kept up in the south? What is Inshaa doing against it? Snipers trying to keep the long range here. There's not a single flag in this forest down here. You have to push all the way over here to get a flag out of this push. So Inshaa can give a bit more space up before it becomes critical. Can give up a bit more space there. SS Gebirgsfusiliers, a lot of snipers on the side of Khers as well. Gebirgsfusiliers, and then one more sniper infantry in that deck as well. So really, infantry-wise, you are pretty well set up in the Rössersprung division. But medium tanks and everything above that, you kinda lack. And transport speed is the other big issue for that deck. SS Brandenburger Aufklärer, that's the other sniper unit. 6-man sniper unit with a G43 scope, which is a nice sniper rifle. 5 G43s at least give a bit of DPS in the mid-ranges as well. And 6 hit points obviously quite decent as well. That's the Brandenburger and SS Gebirgsstreife keep on moving over here. SS Gebirgsstreife not as amazing as its normal Gebirgsstreife counterpart, but still pretty decent. 25 points for a 12-man unit with an MG34 and 8 G43s is a decent mid-range unit. Though a good setup here for Inshaa in the forest, and still holding the control over this flag over here. Oschnatz VMF with their sniper really doing a good job keeping the open space under control. And the AB-42-1s for now have all gone down. More 20mm will be necessary. Though for now, it's a really far forward K35T. One of the best artillery pieces in the game. Being brought in really close. And a Panzer IIF going for the deep push. Keeping the reinforcements at bay. And as I said, with units like this, you can't deal easily. Inshaa even brings out an IL-2 cluster now for a 25-point tank. So that's a 100-point overkill with this cluster bomber. But he needs to get rid of this. You can't leave this on your supply line. So investment like this is kind of necessary. especially as most anti-tank guns, like the good anti-tank guns, all the SIS-2s already are placed. So great bait there by Khers, baiting out the IL-2M and still getting a kill beforehand. So that Panzer II paid off big time and now gives Khers the advantage on the front line, which might be pushed now with the units. So the Oshnath Saiperi and the Oshnath VMF still have something to say about this. More MG42 coming in though, and they can deal with the Oshnath VMF. Meanwhile, AB41 in the center, also doing a good job. Little anti-tank around here at the moment as well. One of them went down, but I think they got an AB assist 2 as well. I'm pretty sure there was 2 of those in the middle beforehand. And let's see what the K-35 is supposed to do here. Meanwhile, first air unit on the side of Khers is a bomber. But 3-star veteran C, 25mm, should be able to keep this away. Or at least get pretty close to it. Yeah, they keep it at bay. Though 17 gets pushed back. Whilst over here, the Dombrani versus the Moskaya Saperi have another engagement. Brandenburger will deal with the Moskaya Saperi. Will get the kill there. Dombrani over here get pinned down. Oshnath Sniperi versus Gebirgsfusiliers in a big engagement. Mosin Nagant Sniper getting hit by the way better hit point as his Gebirgsfusiliers. So they have to run away. Chani Pluchati also getting unloaded. Good positioning here by Khers. Good move with units in the south. Just keeping the reinforcements away. Allowing for more pressure around here. 13-11 is happening. But obviously with Vanguard versus Maverick, you're always on a really tight timing. Because the enemy will get their good income really soon after. And only 2 minutes 30 remaining with the A-phase advantage here. Then you will have still a bit of an advantage for the first 3 minutes in B-phase. But then it will switch around quite heavily in B-phase as well. Into the favor of Maverick. So you gotta be into a good position when the Maverick really starts to kick in heavily. As a Vanguard player. And for that you kinda wanna be at a 59. Currently 13-11, not quite enough. So the next couple of minutes will be absolutely crucial here for Khers. How far can this push do? The advantage is at the biggest it will get in the game. Can Khers push the issue? LG42 for the long-range fire support. AB41 spots the SIS-2. Most likely will pay for it. If Khers is not quick. Doesn't seem to be quick on the reaction. But LG42 is helping out from the rear. And gets some damage out already. Another great tool in this division. 13-11 is on. Brandenburger sitting in the forest. K-35 hitting the units around here. One of the best artillery pieces in the game. Great rate of fire, decent damage, all for a cheap price on a 105mm artillery piece. Whilst the LG42 now hits the SIS-2 gun. SIS-2 gun has to evacuate out of there. And more 20mm coming in. Another source of 20mm in form of the L6/40 and more AB41s. And there's no anti-tank here whatsoever right now. Khers, I think, found the weak spot here. There's a couple of PTRDs, but PTRDs is not enough against the 45mm frontal armor of the L6. And there's a lot of units coming down the lane. Inshaa needs either the cluster bomber of a lifetime or a lot of T-34s quickly here to deal with this. We'll have access to T-34s relatively soon, but the 1410 is on. 59 is approaching. Flak feeling from the rear, doing a good job here. Most likely will get the kill. And second, K-35 helping out as well. L2M3 under heavy fire. Has to try get the hell out of there. Will not make it though. 1410 is happening. Next flag under pressure. K-35 really hitting well, but the referrer gives the radio. And all of these infantry units here will have to run soon. There is a commander even here, but this has to evacuate the hell out of here. Whilst the L6s roll in. No T-34 invested in yet. We are in B phase. There would be access to them now. But Khers also with one more wound that he wants to open up in the north. Gebirgspioneer and Brandenburger and Gebirgsstreifer coming in for opening up one more flank. Two T-34s now rolling in here for Inshaa. The question is, will there be anything left when they arrive at the front line in 30 seconds, as the L6s now really have found the enemy. Enemy contact around here in the center. SIS-2 gun goes down to the AB-41. Not much here to deal with them. And the 59 is on. Timer is on Inshaa to try to get this around. IL-2 M3 tries to deal with the AB-41. Doesn't even get the kill there though. 59 still going on. T-34 rolling in. Inshaa obviously will now get a lot of income, but the front line is collapsing hardcore. Khers keeps the pressure on, and the L6s just roll over the Moskaya Pechota like they're nothing. But the Moskaya Pechota down here in the south tried to do a counterattack, but now also get flanked by L6s. At least get the Brandenburger Pioneers eliminated beforehand, but now have to get the hell out of there. 59, a wild front line. Inshaa not without chances here, but the situation is rather dire. The next couple of minutes really need to get in some good investments and some good paybacks out of those investments to get the front line back under control, get this whole thing stabilized. Obviously 170 points is a lot of points that you can invest into this, but there's still also quite a bit coming for Khers. 125 points is not nothing, so Khers can for sure keep the pressure up somewhat. Loses a Panzer II over here, Oznats with another nice kill, but Moskaya Sturm most likely will be overwhelmed here now. There they go. And that means another flag falling. Oznats on their own won't be able to hold any infantry back. And two more flags are in danger in the rear. 16-8 is up. Moskaya Pechota over here also under pressure. 17-7 in a second. AB-41 in the south still doing its thing. Maxim going down as well. K-35 coming in here. AB-41 will deal with the Channel Plechati. The PTRD might deal some damage, but it most likely won't get the kill. Brandenburgers here should be able to get the W as well. Oznats Comrade most likely will fall soon as well, and then these guys will lose their double star veterancy. Moskaya Comrade in the combat also has to get the hell out of there. Brandenburgers now on top of it. Instantly kill it off. And this situation is really, really bad. You never want to give up this town. T-34s though, now around, and medium tanks ain't that easy to deal with the Russelsprung division. So that might be the way back in here. But 18-6 is a 6-minute timer, so Inshaa has to be really quick now. Those 17 coming in once more. AAPs that stopped it last time is not around anymore, and Inshaa surrenders as Inshaa realized this is not a recoverable position, and Khers takes game number 1 in a really, really cool fashion. Showing us that yes, divisions, like nobody would say Russelsprung is a great division, but in the matchup here, it did its job. It really did its job, and Vanguard also did its job there as well. Keeping the pressure on non-stop, opening wounds, and abusing the weakness of the opponent's decks to the fullest in A phase. Not quite giving Inshaa enough time for the recovery. So GGVP here to Khers in game number 1. Bringing the first score to the board and putting Inshaa under pressure. Yeah, the matchup was a rough one. MGB is a good division in the right matchup, but dealing with 20mm really not its strong suit, and Russelsprung brings more than any other division out there of it. So, good pick here by Khers, and good play as well. Really well played. Key 35s dealing with the strong point infantries, so that the mid-range infantry couldn't stop him, and then bringing in the L6s after the SIS-2 guns at the right spots had gone down, and the Oznats were eliminated mostly as well, and then just pushing through there. So VP to Khers, and Inshaa will have to do it in game number 2 here.